Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I'd really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it and you could purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing a lovely final generation 39mm Audemars Piguet Royal Oak chronograph. This is the reference 26300ST, a timepiece 39mm in stainless steel. It wears easily on my 16cm circumference wrist. It's not a thick watch, as you can see, despite the complication, only 11.2 millimeters thick, and you will appreciate that it's not quite as broad across the wrist as the succeeding 41 millimeter watch, as this one spans an agreeable 49.4 millimeters lug-to-lug, and if you include the rigid flare of the end links, these little intermediate plots, the watch is still manageable, though somewhat more substantial. 52.6 millimeters across the wrist. So I always tell people size down one size when buying a Royal Oak or an offshore. If you normally wear a 41 or 42 millimeter watch, this is the size you want. Don't go for the 41 or the 42, go for the 39 because the case is broad and it wears a size large. The timepiece is substantial. As ever with the Royal Oak, a big part of the appeal here is the quality of the finish. You can see that it's self-evident, the satin finish of the bezel, the polished flanks of the bezel, the break between them, which is razor sharp, though won't draw blood. The consistent character lines from bezel top through bezel side through mid case through case back, and of course the perfect transition of the bevel that expands at the lug hood and continues perfectly aligned across the links with polishing of the intermediate links in between the primaries, and you'll only see that as you roll it through the light, and that's the attention to detail with the finish. Audemars Piguet always doing things the right way with these Royal Oak bracelets, fixing them to the case with screws and bars rather than the more vulnerable spring bar system. You have screws that are removable, and there are no pin sleeves here, so you can see how every individual link can be sized with a screwdriver, so no pin sleeves. Patek Philippe, I'm speaking to you. This is how a luxury bracelet should be constructed. Now there is a single trigger that you retract before opening the clasp, and you can see internally it's of high polish Audemars Piguet logo architecture. This is the old AP logo style clasp design. Now you could also appreciate the fact that with the trigger release system, this one's not going to accidentally pop open. And that's good because it is a substantial watch. It's solid enough that it feels almost as hefty as some other brands' gold watches. As ever, you have hexagonal forms for the screw-down chronograph pushers and the crown, echoing the white gold bezel bolts that are sunken into the bezel. And you can really see well from right here in this angle, in this light, the difference in tone between white gold and stainless steel. White gold's not quite as white or silver as stainless steel is. The dial is a lovely Grande Tapiserrie cut on a pantograph, as ever. The 19th century lathe taking a large template and copying all of its lines and its textures onto a small dial blank that later becomes what you see here. The hands as well as the indices are white gold to avoid tarnishing or oxidation over time, and we have a lovely tricolor of blue, orange, and silver. I think Audemars Piguet did well to avoid eliminating an index by placing the date window between 4 and 5 o'clock, and there is a lively air about this watch because unlike a conventional sporting tritone, say black, red, and silver, the orange here makes the watch unique right out to its minute and seconds track, where you can see that there are indices as well as numerals in orange. All of the registers are slightly sunken, so you can see they add another focal plane to the dial. And I should mention the watch 50 meters water resistant with true screw down chronograph pushers. The column wheel action is excellent. What's inside the case powering all you see here is an Audemars Piguet caliber 2385. It's based on a Frederic Piguet 1185. The movement itself, automatic winding, 40-hour power reserve with unidirectional winding action for efficiency. It beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour, and it has been adjusted in 5 positions just like a chronometer, 5 position being a very high degree of adjustment. That's attention to detail where you'll never see it, and though you will not see the movement, I can also assure you that the 1185 is handsomely hand finished. There is a quick set system for the date, though there is not a hacking seconds function, and the watch featuring not just the column wheel action that I mentioned, the crisp function selector, but it also has a vertical clutch, so when you start the chronograph there's no jump or stagger, and you can simply leave the chronograph running full time if you wish, with no additional wear, tear, or risk to the mechanism. That is the advantage of a vertical clutch system, and this watch has it all. It's handsome, it's artisanally crafted inside and out, and it comes from a great model line. The design dating back to 1972 and scarcely changed ever since. This one's a winner and an all-timer. See it and make it yours on the Watchbox. The Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Chronograph.